Nothing represents the mysteries of ancient Egypt more than the Great Sphinx. How did the Egyptians build this crouching lion, human-headed creature?
This is the largest statue ever built in ancient Egypt.
Who built it and why?
When it was in its heyday, it was a very brightly painted image, painted in comic book colors.
The riddles of the Sphinx have puzzled all who have laid eyes on it, from emperors to presidents. Now, solving those riddles has taken on a new urgency. For after more than 4,000 years with only pyramids as neighbors, today the Sphinx stares out at a fast food restaurant. Traffic, tourism, and construction are trembling at a part.
The Sphinx is almost in downtown Cairo.
It's a full frontal urban assault. Before it's too late, two teams of scientists and builders are tackling the age-old riddles of the Sphinx.
The big blocks here.
It's not easy, is it?
They're immersing themselves in the world of ancient Egypt, a world of pharaohs and pyramids, animal gods and mummies, sun worship, and human sacrifice. Will the eternal sands of Egypt finally give up the secrets of this human-headed lion? Right now on Nova, Riddles of the Sphinx.
Major funding for NOVA is provided by the following.
I've been growing algae for 35 years. Most people try to get rid of algae, and we're trying to grow it. The algae are very beautiful. They come in blue or red, golden, green. Algae could be converted into biofuels that we could someday run our cars on. And using algae to form biofuels, we're not competing with the food supply. And they absorb CO2, so they help solve the greenhouse problem as well. We're making a big commitment to finding out just how much algae can help to meet the fuel demands of the world.
And by Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed, offering insurance, annuities, and investments. And David H. Koch. And
Discovering New Knowledge. HHMI.
And by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Giant paws longer than a city bus stretch out before it. A whipping tail wraps around its back. And its enormous body, about the weight of 50 jumbo jets, is on haunches poised to pounce. But this lion has a human head as big as a house. For this is the Great Sphinx. At nearly 240 feet long, almost the length of a football field, and almost 70 feet tall, the height of the White House, the Sphinx is the largest statue in all of Egypt, a land renowned for its oversized monuments. It's here at Giza, home of the Sphinx and the Great Pyramids, where building big really booms. Around 2500 BC, more than 4,000 years ago, the Giza Plateau is a desolate landscape. A visionary pharaoh named Khufu constructs the Great Pyramid. He's followed by his son and then his son's son, who build two more pyramids. Designed as giant tombs to ensure the king's safe passage to the afterlife, The pyramids and their surrounding temples transform an area of the Giza Plateau into a vast city of the dead. Pharaoh Khufu's pyramid is the most famous gravestone on Earth.
Khufu's architect probably stood here and looked out over the panorama behind me and maybe foresaw 3 generations of building here because of the excellent conditions for carving giant statues and for building pyramids and tombs.
Khufu and his sons launch a golden age of Egypt known as the Old Kingdom. But while the classic pyramid can be traced back to earlier forms, like the stepped pyramid of Saqqara, the Great Sphinx appears out of nowhere, unprecedented in size and form. And while inscriptions inside the pyramids reveal who built them, there are no such clues about the origins of the Sphinx. What is this crouching lion human-headed beast? How did the Egyptians build this wonder of the ancient world? Whose face is this staring out across the millennia? Now, 2 teams tackle these age-old mysteries of the Sphinx. One team of scientists investigates the geology, history, and archaeology of ancient Egypt.
Many people who try to look at the Sphinx, they look at it by itself. But you have to look at all the architecture, archaeology, art, inscriptions. You have to look at all of this to explain the function of the Sphinx.
Another team of stone carvers will build scaled-down replicas of the Sphinx and its missing nose to shed light on how the ancients carved this wonder of the world.
It's near mind-boggling in all of Egypt. Most of the stones carved with just pounding for thousands and thousands of hours.
The race is on to unlock the riddles of the Sphinx. There have been thousands of Sphinxes throughout history. But this Sphinx, the Great Sphinx, is one of the very first and is by far the largest ever built.
But this was an age of experimentation. The Sphinx is an experiment. It was something new, something highly unusual.
So where did the idea of putting a human head on a lion's body come from? Archaeologist Gunther Dreyer is searching the desert of Abydos, about 300 miles south of Giza and the pyramids. Dreyer is traveling back past Khufu and the Old Kingdom to the very dawn of Egyptian civilization, 3000 BC, 500 years before the Sphinx. Like Giza, Abydos is also a city of the dead, but without pyramids. Here, Egypt's founding pharaohs are buried beneath the desert sands in a complex of mud brick tombs. Today, Dreyer is investigating one of those tombs.
The tomb consists of 3 huge chambers underneath that mound over there. And in front of it, there are 3 rows of subsidiary burials, altogether 35.
The main chamber was plundered in ancient times and the royal body stolen. But inscriptions found inside